Hey guys, it's Mrs. Dewar here with part 1 of a 2-part series on absolute value equations. In this video, we're going to concentrate on what an absolute value equation is and get a feel for how they work and how to solve them. So before we get into the actual equations, let's just discuss absolute value a little bit. When we take the absolute value of a number, the result is always positive or 0. You may or may not remember that. This is because the absolute value is defined as distance from 0 on a number line, and distance cannot be negative. So the absolute value of 4 means the distance positive 4 is from 0 on a number line. So let's just take a look at that visually. If you start at 0, you can see that you would move over 4 units to get to 4. So the absolute value of 4 equals 4 because the number 4 is 4 units from 0 on a number line. Now let's see what happens when we have an absolute value of a negative number. The absolute value of negative 4 means the distance negative 4 is from 0 on a number line. So we begin at 0 and we go 4 units, this time to the left. So of course you know that negative 4 is 4 units from 0. So the absolute value of negative 4 equals 4 because the number negative 4 is 4 units from 0 on a number line. So here's a very simple, probably the most simple absolute value equation we can start with. The absolute value of x equals 4. And that's asking us to determine what number is 4 units from 0 on a number line. So we kind of just saw that. What number is 4 units from 0 on a number line? You saw that there were 2 different answers to that question. If you look at a number line, 4 units to the right would be positive 4, and 4 units to the left would be negative 4. So either one of those would be considered a correct answer. So the absolute value of x equals 7 is asking us to determine what number is 7 units from 0 on a number line. So hopefully you're thinking there must be 2 answers. If you look at a number line, 7 units to the right would give you 7, and 7 units to the left would give you negative 7. So those are our 2 answers. Now we're going to take a look at an absolute value equation that has more than just x inside. And I will be showing you how to solve this directly in a few minutes, but I just want to play around with it a little bit so you get a feel for how these work. We know the absolute value of 5 is 5 and that the absolute value of negative 5 is 5. I say that because what's inside those absolute values needs to either be 5 or negative 5 for this to work. So the question becomes, what could x possibly be so that we would have a 5 in that absolute value? So let's just think about this. If x were 1, well, that would make it 3. The absolute value of 3 does not equal 5. If x were 2, then that would make it 4. The absolute value of 4 does not equal 5. If x were 3, that would make it 5. And the absolute value of 5 does equal 5. So 3 would work. Now let's think about how we would end up getting a negative 5 in there. Back to what it looked like in the beginning, and let's just start using some numbers. I'm going to start with negative 7. If the absolute value of negative 7 plus 2, well, negative 7 plus 2 is negative 5, there it is. So the other answer to that would be negative 7. So x could either be 3 or x could be negative 7. Now we're going to check our answers. Using 3, you'll see that 3 plus 2 is 5 inside that absolute value, and the absolute value of 5 equals 5. Using negative 7 plus 2 is negative 5. The absolute value of negative 5 is also 5. So you can see how both answers work. So that'll do it for part 1 of this video. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. If you're interested in the unit that goes along with this video, just click the link below. Thanks for watching.